Braves at 419. Yankees said, get on up here. Play for us. Driven out to left field and deep. Going back, Alvarez turning, looking. Welcome to the big league. See ya. A home run for Dominguez in his first big league at bat.
For about 24 hours, kind of very on the last 5-6 hours where we thought it was in physical review, is complete. Juan Soto has been traded to the Yankees along with Trent Grisham. I strongly believe it is the 5 names we heard all afternoon.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the newest edition of the Bronx Muchachos podcast. Your host, Mark, and tonight we got all the family with us tonight. We got Dave.
Good evening, everybody.
We got Alex.
Yo.
We got Danny.
What's good, everybody?
Yo, you guys know the drill by now. You know where to catch us. You know where we're at on all of our audio platforms. Go check us out. Give us some love out there. Anybody watching us, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let us know what's good, guys. Don't forget, check us out on our website, www.bronxmuchachos.com. We've been plugging this thing for quite some time now. You know where we've got a lot of things going on over there. We've got our merch store over there. We got our articles coming out. We got a lot of fun things happening throughout the season. So go check us out. Go give us some love on that spot. And of course, go to SeatGeek. SeatGeek is one of our biggest places to be and biggest supporters. Promo code is Bronx Muchachos, all caps, all one word. Get all your tickets there. Use our promo code and you get $20 off your first order. So with that being said, boys, Yankees just swept the Twins, and the Twins really aren't that bad. But you know what, the Yankees were, Dave said something last week or last week about Alex Verdugo owning Justin Verlander. Made Justin Verlander his dad. Verdugo's Justin Verlander's daddy. I think the Yankees are the Twins' daddy, and have been so for quite some time. So I'm going to throw this around the horn. Give me some things that you liked and didn't like. Dan, I'll go for you first.
I'm going to start with the pitching. All right, bro. Second pitch in the game 1, give up a homer, and then that's literally it for the rest of the series for the Twins. And we spoke about this last week. This Twins offense, top 10 in baseball. And runs scored in a lot of other categories. So this wasn't just some pushover team. This is a hot team. They were 17-3 in the last 20, and we went into their house and we shut them down. Mm-hmm. Clark Schmidt was probably the most electric out of the Rodon, Stroman, and Schmidt for tonight. Today or Thursday rather. 8 shutty for Clark Schmidt. Bro. What a stud! He's pushed that threshold of being that 5 and fly guy. The past 2 starts he's been nothing but nails. So good to see Clark take that next step and continue his trend of being a top starter in this rotation.
Oh yeah, you definitely got a point there. What you said there, Danny, and to Mark's point, yeah. Yeah, we are definitely having our field day with the Twins. For the past 22 years, we are now 120-44 against the Twins. Let's just put it this way. So yes, they are a very, very, very good team. I was on Tuesday, I was legitimately telling everybody that, hey, I believe that we were going to lose at least one out of this series, and I will be the one to admit, hey, they did the job. They swept it. I was impressed. I was definitely impressed. It also helped that, the Twins defense in center field, at least I should say, was not working up to par. I mean, that's they got to figure that out over there. That's not our problem right now. But yeah, that was awesome. And even with that, let's just be real. Like I said, 120 games to 44. That's a nice record to have against a team for 22 years.
This Yankees team has been the 98 Yankees against the Twins for the past 20. like greatest team of all time against one organization. For Twins fans hate us. I guarantee you this. They don't want to watch this podcast. They don't want to watch any Yankees baseball. They hate our insignia because we've been dominating them for like if a Twins fans our age, they don't know what a Yankees like what it's like to beat the Yankees. So that's kind of crazy to even comprehend.
Yeah,
let's not forget, like, it hasn't always been this way. Like, back in, I forget what year it was either 03 or 04. They almost beat us in the DS when they had Johan Santana and Francisco Liriano. So it hasn't always been, I mean, yeah, we've won the games, but it hasn't always been dominant for the last 18 or 19 years, whatever it was. It was pretty neck and neck there for a while, especially when they had Liriano and Santana.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, this series was great. Definitely outplayed my expectations. I thought we would at least, lose one that I was rooting for it. But as soon as Rodon gave up that home run, I'm like, Jesus Christ, here we go. But he settled in nicely. Stroman had a little bit of a short outing on Wednesday. Whatever. They still won the game. And I just finally see Schmidt get over that hump of not being able to go past the fifth inning. It's great to see. Hopefully that continues. And can't finish this off without talking about our captain here, Aaron Judge. Finally has broken out of whatever slump he was in. Like I said before a couple of weeks ago, I am convinced it was him not getting game time reps in spring training that carried over into the regular season because of that injury that happened in spring training. And, everybody thought, Judge was done and washed up and this, that, and the other thing. And it's finally nice to see him get his stroke back. So good things all around. I'm really happy with the way the last 3 games went. So on to the next one.
I agree. I definitely agree. And I got to say one thing, though. This is all for everybody. Danny, you said that we've been a thorn in their side for 98. Let's just be real for a minute, bro. We've been in the thorn in their side ever since they lost Chili Davis.
Yeah. Like 95.
Let's be real. They were dreading that. They've hated us ever since we got Chili Davis came to the Yankees. They were like, forget that team.
One thing I also want to point out is that, yes, Aaron Judge, the past 2-game stretch of his entire career, 6 extra base hits, the most of, like I just said, his entire career. But Juan Soto's been, he's been kind of struggling a little bit, right? And the fact that we got Judge hot when Soto's cold, what's going to happen when they both get, like, on the same page? Like, that's really scary. And that's what
we got a glimmerous.
What was that?
We got a glimmer of that last week when we had Soto, Stan, and Judge all hit homers.
Right, exactly. So I'm excited for like a 50 at bat, 75 at bat stretch for both of them, where they're just like 18 for 52, or Soto's like 20 for 55 with 10 walks and a couple homers. So I'm looking forward to that. But this
sprinkle in there sprinkle a little bit in there, some seasoning from Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah, exactly, man. We got 2 aircraft carriers in the middle of our lineup, and I love it.
It's not bad. That's how it should be. But now we just took a look at the past 3 games. Now let's take this and extrapolate this for the past, say, month and a half now, and how well the Yankees have been doing, all in all. And to be honest with you, the team has surprised me in this regard because of the fact, I said, Judge had the injury come in spring training, got off to the really slow start. Garrett Cole has been injured and is on his way back. He has thrown 0 pitches for the Yankees for this season. Everyone didn't expect Carlos Rodon to be Carlos Rodon that he is right now. Everyone thought that Stanton wasn't going to really be doing what he's doing. You got DJ LeMahieu on the shelf. We're sitting there talking about, we have Oswald, we have Cabrera playing third base, and we saw what happened to him last season. There's a lot, not for nothing, there was a lot of question marks coming into this season for the Yankees. But some of the things that to notice for them is that offensively, they have a 2.54 batting average as a team with a 0.337 OBP and a .419 slugging. So I mean, they're really doing the jobs that they're supposed to do. They have 20 as a team. They have 24 stolen bases. I mean, for the team that they kind of have right now, it's good because they have some speed, but they're not abundant with speed. But they have 59 home runs as a team. They're hitting the snot out of the baseball. They're doing what they have to do. The double plays. I mean, it's double plays for this team still kill us. But but overall, I can't really be mad about everything you've seen. And then tack on like you said, talk offense, talk the pitching. The pitching is just, for the most part. I mean, we talked about the three guys right there. Add Luis Gil to that mix too. I mean, Luis Gil is just, his stuff probably could be the best out of everybody on this rotation, and he's just getting stronger and stronger. So, I mean, that to me, they're a big surprise for the AL East. So, let me throw it on. Five. All right, and also, you know what? One of the teams that doesn't surprise me in the AL East, to be honest with you, is the Tampa Bay Rays. I mean, after their hot start last season, they've been a 500 team. They're a 500 team right now. They've had a 3-game set against the Red Sox, and they haven't distanced themselves or made themselves distinguished from the Boston Red Sox. So, and all the Rays have done is they've digressed in a sense that they lost their stud in Tyler Glasnow. Randy Rosarina isn't really the player that he was the past couple of years. He's kind of hit the hump, and he's kind of going on the other side of 30. They don't have that person that won't be named that's stuck in the Dominican Republic for things he shouldn't have done. They're still, in all honesty, they're still trying to find a shortstop. They're still trying to figure out certain other positions on their team. They're kind of a team that's in flux, and like I make a joke about it, but it's the truth. I can't get behind a team that the name on the back of their jersey is going to stay front office instead of a player, because they can't keep the players around for too long. So, the Rays as a team, their batting average is .242. Their OBP is 313, and their slugging is 363. So, I mean, yeah, they're running the bases. They got 50 stolen bases, but they're only got 37 home runs. So they're not really they don't have boppers on that team, and that's what they've needed for a while. And really, the thoughts from last year, if they ever made such a wild idea of trying to make a true playoff run and got a rental as like a Shohei Ohtani last season, that could have really changed the fortunes for that team. They just don't have the fortitude to do that, and they will sit by their binder. They will sit by their playbook of 2 innings through. Pitchers go two rounds. Maybe they go through the lineup 3 times, and then that's that. And then they turn around. They'll use that bullpen, and they'll burn that bullpen out by the time they go to the postseason, if they make the postseason this year, because right now they're in the middle of the pack. If not, actually, they're 4th place in the AL East as we speak. They're not looking. They're kind of a team that kind of needs to get back and get their farm system built up into the way that they've had it before. So I'll send it down the line. Alex, and we'll send it over to you. You take it away with your thoughts on the AL East so far?
I mean, my thoughts on the AL East is they are who we thought they were. Like, Tampa Bay is going to be what they were. Toronto's kind of a surprise. It is, because I would have thought it would have been Boston that would have been down there, but it is what it is. I mean, like, I'm more surprised with Boston being in 3rd place, because Baltimore, we all thought we're gonna do good, but like I'm more surprised out of the state of the AL East is more of a state of the Yankee in a way, and my surprise has to be somebody that was not your best friend all throughout last season, Mark, Mr. Anthony Volpe. Let's just be real. Out of 43 games, he is right now hitting a 2 WAR, okay, which is what it took him all season to get to last year. So he's already doing 2 WAR right now. So that is my surprise right now. Nice and simple. How about you, Danny? What you got for a surprise?
Well, I'm shocked at this, honestly. So I had an event a couple weeks ago, well, prior to the season, that involved like me, a Red Sox fan, and he's like, "Oh, I think our pitching is gonna be sneaky good." I laughed at him. right? But he's gonna be laughing at me now because the Red Sox starting pitching and the Red Sox pitching in general has just been extremely good, right?
Yep.
Do I think this is gonna hold up? I don't think so. Tanner Houck has a 2.17 ERA, right? Cutter Crawford a 2.24 ERA. Cooper Criswell, I don't even know who this guy is. He in 5 starts, right? He has a 2.1 ERA. Brian Bayo, who everybody thought was going to be, the Red Sox type of ace in the future, he's not doing bad. 4 wins, a 3.13 ERA. Like these guys are really pitching well. Nick Pivetta 3.48. So 1 through 5, they've been very competitive, borderline dominant as a starting pitching unit. I'm gonna give you guys a number that I don't think anybody. We haven't played the Red Sox yet, so we haven't really seen their pitching. But Greg Weiser, he has a 1.53 ERA in 17 2/3 innings pitched with 19 Ks. Like the Ram in me is like, yeah. The Yankee fan in me is like, damn, bro, how can we gonna do that with us? So it's good to see him dominate and do this. I wish he was in our uniform. But just overall, this pitching staff for the Red Sox is just nails, and their offense is just taking a step back. Like Rafi Devers, right? He's their guy. He's been injured. Only 13 games played. 5 homers, 15 RBIs. Like, bro, that's okay. Their best power hitter is Tyler O'Neill. So the Red Sox are a 500 team because of their offense. But their pitching is keeping them in games. If their pitching was like it was last year, they'll probably be right where the Blue Jays are right now.
Yeah.
Dave, what about you? What about you? What's some of the what are your thoughts about the AL East?
It's kind of strange because, our team, because of what happened last year, is kind of holding my breath going into this year and kind of wanted to see how the first month and a half was going to play out so I don't get my hopes shattered like a pile of glass. But let me put that into perspective. At this point last year, we were 19-10 in the month of May after 29 games in May. At this point last year, they were 15-14 going into May. So the fact that they're 30-15 halfway through May is pretty damn impressive. The one team that has shocked me has, like Danny was saying, the Boston Red Sox, because they are doing what they're doing without Lucas Giolito, who they spent $38.5 million on, Liam Hendricks, Brian Mata, Chris Murphy, Garrett Whitlock, Tristan Cassis, Trevor Story, and Masataka Yoshida. And they're still winning baseball games. I'm not saying the Red Sox are the wild card favorite by any stretch of the imagination, but it's kind of a shock because I had them pegged for a basement team and losing over 100 games this year. And so far, they're keeping their head above water somehow. The other team that is shockingly not performing to expectations, the Blue Jays. Like, how do you have players like Springer, Guerrero, Barrios, Bichette, and you just kind of hanging around doing what you're doing? I don't get it. That sounds like a Blue Jays problem, but I feel like they should be more dominant than they are. For whatever reason, they just, in the last 4 or 5 years, haven't lived up to expectation. And to finish up real quick, Tampa Bay Rays, they will never have a contending team. They'll have a contending team, but they won't get anyone to stick around because they are in the business of ruining people's arms. They have been doing it ever since Kevin Cash showed up, when they started going to this opener nonsense, and they're burning dudes out. We haven't seen Shane McClanahan in I don't know how long. Shane Boss has been MIA in witness protection because Jeffrey Springs is another one that comes to mind. These guys are getting overused and overworked, and this is not the way you're supposed to pitch. You shouldn't be throwing your bullpen out there every single day. Play traditional baseball. Have a 1 through 5 starting rotation like the rest of baseball does. It shouldn't be hard. So That's what I got.
Yeah, no, Shane McClanahan, he's recovered from his Tommy John surgery. Shane Baz is another one who's kind of just always getting injured. I mean, the same thing happened to Brett Honeycutt for the race too. That he was another top end pitcher that couldn't really stick around. I mean, it's just wild. I mean, and speaking of bullpens, speaking of things, the rumor out there is the Oakland A's closer is on the market. And a couple of the teams that could be in for him are Yankees and the Orioles.
He's going to be very expensive.
He's coming. He's going to be expensive. I mean, I keep hearing people throwing names out like give up Chase Hampton, give up Roderick Arias, give up Lombard Jr., give up whomever for him. Like,
no,
pump the brakes on that for a little while. First off, I mean, especially we're talking about a guy that's got already one Tommy John surgery under his belt. He's got a partially torn UCL right as he's pitching right now. So that's I'm just waiting for that arm to come flying off and this time around. But someone's gonna come the trade deadline. Someone's gonna pay the price for him and to push them over the edge. But I mean, one team we didn't really talk about is Baltimore, because Baltimore. I mean, we didn't talk about them because we've talked about them all offseason. Because Baltimore is going to be a thorn in the Yankee side and the AL East side for a number of years. They're going to pay Adley. You got Gunnar Henderson, who quite possibly is taking over as the best shortstop in the AL East, almost, and could vie for the American League because he's doing things and he's killing it. And they still got dudes coming. They still got Heston Kjerstad. They still got Samuel Basallo. They got Jackson Holiday. They got Kobe Mayo. I mean, the amount of guys that they got coming still is just crazy.
You're right. They do have a lot of guys coming up, but Jackson Holiday's already come up. Let's be real, okay? It's not like he hasn't come up already, and he's going to be a star. We are all going to be in agreement on that. He's not going to say that he's not going to be a star, but
someday.
But exactly, that is the word. Someday. I don't know if some of those young men are ready yet for that step yet. There might be still a learning adjustment to it, but they will be a force to be reckoned with very soon.
I think that right now they're a force to be reckoned with. I think for some reason they're playing with some of them. Like Heston Kjerstad, I still think he should be up in the big leagues because he's proven that he could be. Jackson Holiday, yeah. I mean, he came up. He's young. It happens. You send him back down, get his confidence back up, let him come back. They did the same thing with Grayson Rodriguez last year. Came up, he wasn't pitching well. They sent him back down. Hey, just work on your stuff. You're good to go. We'll bring you back. Came back better than ever. They just need some other couple of guys. If they get a couple of veterans on that team as well, like especially position player veterans that can kind of take these kids under their arms and kind of show and kind of teach them the way, then it's a game changer for them. But Danny, you were jumping in?
Yeah, well, I wanted to change the subject on the Baltimore thing because I just had a burning question in my head. And it's a two-pronged thing because you're talking about veterans as well. So I'm going to start off with the burning question in my head and then something else in conjunction with that. So my burning question is, what's more disappointing, this Blue Jays offense, or what's more surprising, the way this Blue Jays offense is not performing or the way the Red Sox pitching is performing? Like, what's more surprising?
I think they both are. For different reasons.
Yeah.
What's more? Like, if you're like
rank one above the other?
I really can't. I think it's a dead draw. One's outperforming the other. One should be performing worse, and one should be performing better, and it's switched.
I hate to say curse but we are talking about baseball, we are talking about sports, and this very, very big into things like curses. And I kind of feel for some reason the fact that Vladdy is on the cover of the show 24, that he's getting that he screwed himself over, or he screwed the team over, the dynamic over in some way, somehow. I don't know how. I don't know why. Don't know why, but it's just my only thought, because baseball, football, any all sports, for some reason, whenever you're on the cover of some of one of those things, the lights are just so much on you, and for some reason, some people just can't handle it, and they couldn't handle the lights on them for the very, very beginning.
Or they get hurt.
The Toronto's one of those type of clubs. I guess I think they like the lights on them at the back half, not in the very, very beginning of the season. Let's be real.
Yeah, but Alex, I will say one thing. Ever since Vladdy was going for the Triple Crown, or if he got the American League Triple Crown, he was going toe to toe with Ohtani in 2021 for the MVP. Mm-hmm. He's regressed since then. So
he has.
He really has, and it's kind of one of those things that he hasn't. He likes to make, he wants to do the showboating when he can, or he likes to do his things when the team's up by a lot, or they're down by a lot, and his home runs don't matter that much. But overall,
my curse idea is still not a bad thing, because look at last year. Last year, you had Chisholm Jr. He's already cursed because he's on the Marlins.
he's injured every year too.
Exactly. Like, let's be real, okay?
Shit, if I played Atani
was on it, and he's getting his curse comes in with a translator that's stealing from him. Let's be real. Come on.
And spending it on Desperate Housewives.
Something's happening.
So I want to say that the Red Sox pitching is more surprising than this Blue Jays decline in offense, because we saw a decline in the Blue Jays offense last year. However, I do want to note that it's taken even more of a deep dive. There needs to be some type of change in that clubhouse, whether it's John Schneider or some type of philosophy change. But Alejandro Kirk, who was an all-star, right, a couple years ago, he has a 57 OPS plus. Okay, he's batting 188, 272, 263 slash. That's just Alejandro Kirk. He's 25 years old, right? Vladdy is not the Vladdy of old.
Nope.
122 OPS plus, okay. A 760 OPS, right?
I'm more scared of his brother.
Yeah. 4 homers for Vladdy. Kevin Biggio, 76 OPS plus, right? Below league average, 195 batting average, right? Bo Bichette. I'm naming the dudes that should be dudes.
Yes.
Yeah, but Kevin Biggio kind of has been the kind of a cusp kind of guy. He was cusp is in like on the starting in the starter because when they had Marcus Semien there, he was down on the bench, and he was there for quite some time. So I don't think Kevin Biggio was kind of counting for everyone.
Even when they had Santiago Espinal, he even took Biggio's job because he was just murdering the ball.
Kevin Biggio's 29 years old.
Exactly, but like you guys got to remember, Danny's right on what he's saying, that all these gentlemen that he's talking about, they should all be raking in the leagues. There's probably something bigger that has to do it in the ball club.
Yeah, you know what it is?
Okay.
Yeah,
they do this.
Yes, they do that. Like I'm trying to say, they need a fixture in front office / managerial area, so that way they have a better clubhouse presence, so that way they could actually control these young men that have no real leadership. Let's be real. You have a young team that's leading themselves. They have no real adult leadership, so it's like a bunch of kids out there doing flippy flips, basically not looking good for anybody.
I have a follow-up that who should be leading that team is
no, Justin Turner should be the one leading that team, because Justin Turner and Springer, and you got Kevin Kiermaier. All 3 of those guys are over the age of 30. Kiermaier, Springer, they're 34. Justin Turner is 39. But you got Springer and Justin Turner, who both have championship rings. They both come with pedigree. They both have been, especially like the story of Justin Turner coming up from nothing and had to prove himself to everybody. Like that's someone that they should be looking at, and think because of
good. You're
but
right,
they don't, because the leader. But the leader,
they don't have that leadership quality in their bone. They don't have it. If they don't have the leadership blood in them to know what it's like to be a leader, or want to even strive to be a leader, they're going to be like, you know what? I don't care. I take my paycheck and I'm going to go home. I don't give an F what happened throughout the season. And that's what's going on in there. It's the blind leading the blind.
It's all Alec Noah's fault. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
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 He decided he wanted to open up his mouth saying Garrett Cole's the biggest cheater, and guess what? That toad's been down in Dunedin for a while.
Yeah. It gets worse, guys. It gets worse.
I don't even want to know how worse it gets for those guys.
Bo Bichette, who's supposed to be an all-star, right?
Yes.
He led the league in hits last year.
Yep.
He has a 76 OPS plus. He has 2 home runs in 150 at-bats. George Springer, right? On the vaulted Houston Astros, World Series champion, asterisk. He's hitting 201. His OPS plus is 67. Bro is barely sniffing big league average. Like 3 homers, 6 RBIs, and 149 at bats.
Okay. I think this also comes down to the fact that us being all Yankee fans, we are privileged to having a minor league system that actually knows how to bring up players, unlike other organizations. Because look at it, I'm gonna put some names out there that have been thorns on our sides. Houston Astros, and look where they are right now. Okay, they're in the bottom of the barrel right now. You got the Tampa Bay. They are a horrible run organization. We all know that they're a horribly run organization. Okay, but they've been a thorn on our side in recent memory, not all throughout their whole real lifetime. Let's be real. Okay, you got Toronto. They were a thorn on our side, but like you all said, the minute they open up their mouth, they get screwed out. So that is the problem, that you have these teams that come up, but they don't know how to maintain, unlike the Yankees, that they know how to maintain and keep perfection.
Well, I mean, you can't. I mean, the Astros comments are kind of a half-hearted one, considering the fact that they've been in the ALCS for 7 straight years. So they took advantage. They had their window that was open. They took
and
advantage.
You have Astros fans out there saying that Bregman should be MVP right now because he hit a home run off the A's. Let's be real. Come on.
Hey,
like,
they
let's
gotta
be real.
They got to do what they got to do. But all I'm saying is that when they had their window open, they weren't shy about it. They went out, they made the deals they had to do. They got a Verlander. They got Garrett Cole when it was available. They got Zach Greinke when he was available. They made the deals, and they burned out their minor league system. Because don't forget, in 2000, the Yankees didn't have a real minor league system. They burnt out everybody in that minor league system, sent them somewhere else. So the fact of the matter is that they had a window open. They try to take advantage of it as much as they can. They have one true ring, another tainted ring. Yeah. So you take
trash can.
Exactly. So trash can himself. Manfred's not going to take that ring away from him. So it is what it is. So they're going to hang their hats on two banners in that 7-year span. It is what it is. Toronto. They brought up their 3 guys that they thought was going to be great. They turned around, they traded off which should have been their catcher of the future in Gabby Moreno for Dalton Varsho. Dalton Varsho, I don't even think is a starting player for them right now, even though the number of games out there actually looks like he should be. But on Baseball America, they have him as actually on the bench as opposed to a starter. But he's got a 208 average also, and that's just not going to cut it, to be honest with you. But he does have 17 home runs, 19 RBIs for that team. OBP of 7 home runs. If I said 17, I meant 7. He's got OBP of 304, slugging of 431, OPS of 735. So I mean, what can you do? And the Rays, to your point, Alex, the Rays are the Rays. They're going to get guys to a certain level. They're going to trade them off and just replenish their farm system and keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. Dave, you want to jump in on this?
So, Alex, you're talking about Bregman, Astros fans saying he should be the MVP because he hit a home run off the A's. That reminds me of when I went out to Kansas City and saw the Dodgers play the Royals, and Dodgers fans celebrating when Joey Gallo hit a 10,000-foot home run off Nicky Lopez. It's like, dude, your guy hit a home run off a second baseman. I would hope he could hit that. But anyway, one point I wanted to get to, cool. Oakland A's closer is on the market, but I'm pretty sure we all decided that we are no longer making trades with the Oakland Athletics because of what has happened in recent memory. So there's point number 1. Point number 2, the Orioles, they did rush Jackson Holliday through the system. I believe they should have left him in AAA to let him marinate for a little bit before they decided to bring him up and shell shock him. Hopefully it doesn't leave that bad of an impression on him, and he comes back and bounces back. But yeah, that's really all I had. But yeah.
And then to wrap up my second two-pronged question thing, Mark, you spoke about the veterans in Baltimore. We have some veterans on the mend in Garrett Cole and DJ LeMahieu and Tommy Canely. Now, we're already at top of the AL East. We're 30 games, the first AL team to 30 games. I think we have the best record in the American League currently, right? So, what impact does DJ Cole Canely have on this team? And they're really close, right? Both DJ and Garrett Cole got sent back to New York. DJ's going to be starting a rehab assignment on Friday. Cole threw 30 pitches off the mound the other day. Where does that? How does that impact this American League East race?
Oh, well, I mean, personally, I think you get Canely back in that bullpen. It lengthens the bullpen up. It lengthens the bullpen first off. Cole coming back, even if even if he doesn't come back as Cole of last year, but he comes back as but better than the year before, kind of like in between that area, just because of the injury, just because of you don't know exactly what you're going to get right off the bat. I think having Cole in that rotation still will scare the other team. And that in of itself, that kind of intimidation factor will help the Yankees along the way. I think that will then lengthen their rotation. It will then send someone a good pitcher into the bullpen, or as we play the opener role or whatever the case may be, have someone piggybacking with the other one. We've talked about, Danny, you and I have talked about that, having Nestor and Luis Hill kind of piggybacking however which way you want. But I just think that it makes the bullpen stronger. And with everyone with the starting pitching having length now, they're going 6 innings, they're going 7 into the 7th inning. The bullpen's not being overly exposed, the bullpen's not being overly used. You get kind of some of these fringy guys that are in the bullpen that you kind of didn't need, that you're kind of just using, but you didn't really want to have all used all the time. You can now kind of push them aside. You've got better guys that are returning, and you're going to see what happens. On the flip side, with DJ coming back, you're going to have a logjam, and it might not just be at third base, because you're going to have a second base issue too. If Glaber's still performing the way Glaber's performing, you can move DJ back to second base, let him sit there. Move him to third base. You can have Oswaldo go over to third. You have Birdie that can play third base as well. You have a lot of different options that come in, but Oswaldo's doing well, but you don't know what you're going to get from him long term, just because he hasn't proven himself over the hump and over the extended period of time. Where you do have DJ that's proved himself, and that in of itself will change the lineup and kind of make that lineup work a little bit better as well. You could possibly, even though Volpe's been on a heater right now, having him move back down to the 6th spot could set him off into into the stratosphere where he was in the beginning of the season. Have DJ up front, and then you still have the middle of your lineup the way it is, or even put Volpe ahead of Gleyber Torres, who's been struggling. Let Gleyber move even further down the lineup instead. There's a lot of options that come back by bringing DJ LeMahieu into the lineup, because he does give you professional at bats, and he could be that true table setter that you want to have at the number 1 spot.
I could see that. I could definitely see that, but I can't wait for DJ to come back, because I am actually impressed with also with Cabrera, because let's be real, he's been stellar this whole season, in my opinion, that playing the position that he's been playing in. That with DJ coming back, the way I see it is that this is going to alleviate both infield and outfield to give people more days off, especially in those dog days of summer. So that way we're not going to be destroyed when the team gets to the goal, which is the postseason, which is always the goal every year. And then the goal in the postseason is the World Series, as we all know.
Anybody else have anything to add to this conversation?
Any alibis?
This may be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think we see DJ LeMahieu this year. I think there's something seriously wrong with his foot that may require surgery.
I mean,
I have a feeling in my gut he's not going to play this year.
Then why is he playing games in
Oh,
Yeah.
he started
Rehab
playing in
assignments.
games again?
doing rehab assignments and all that stuff? Yeah.
Okay. I must have missed that. 'Cause
Yeah.
the last thing I heard was he got pulled in his first rehab game. They pulled him after like an inning.
Yeah, that was like a month ago, 2 months.
Yeah, he's Friday. He's gonna be in what, Somerset, or he's gonna be in one of the two.
Which level he's going to, but Friday
He's starting on Friday. He's starting his rehab assignment on Friday.
I know Kaylee and Peraza currently in Somerset. They were supposed to have played Thursday. So
Okay.
yeah.
So
we'll see.
My hot take is that DJ is not going to be the same impact guy and solidify that 8-hole. Like, I don't, like, I think that's what DJ is going to do for us.
yeah, I think he's going to be that guy that's going to be helping giving guys days off. Like, okay, instead of putting a Trent Grisham out there into the outfield, it's going to be like, okay, Cabrera, you're going to do outfield. You're going to do outfield today, while DJ's doing infield. Okay, boom, then that's what's going to happen. Stuff like that's going to happen. That's what I see.
Well, don't forget, I mean, like I said before, if Glaber's still doing what if Glaber's on the track where he's not performing well, then Glaber's going to be then DJ might be the one taking over at bats and taking over the spot for Glaber, or move Cabrera over there. You can shuffle people around at that point, but Glaber is beginning to get out of the funk.
Glaber is getting out of the funk, so there's no real point of doing that to Glaber right now. Like, Glaber is his last season. Do what we got to do, and then
get his money somewhere else.
Exactly.
Well, let's not forget, Aaron Boone is a player's manager. Glaber Torres is in his walk here. No matter how bad Glaber is, Aaron Boone will let him dig the deepest grave as possible until his hand is forced to take him out in August or September if it continues to do this bad. But his OPS is creeping up near 600. A couple good weeks. Might see a 700 OPS and get Glaber going. He's actually putting the ball in the air and driving it. So, really good Glaber past couple of days. Another really good and impressive thing today was an Anthony Volpe homer to lead off the game on a pitch high and inside that he's consistently, as we've seen the first 2 years, either pop up or flare out to right. The fact that he put a charge on that one, brought his hands inside the ball, and hit it out the ballpark high and in, I think was impressive.
And let's be real, like when it comes to like another person who's probably going to be happy when DJ comes back, it's going to be Rizzo, because that means he's going to have at least a couple of days off at first base. Let's be real, like he's going to need it, especially with summer coming up and everything like that. Like that's what DJ is going to be. DJ is going to be our dog days of summer man to help out everybody get their days.
Last question to cap everything off. Cole and DJ, does that propel the Yankees to a potential AL East title, or at least staying in first heading into the summer in July and All-Star break?
I think
we'll just have to wait and find out.
I think it keeps them until the trade deadline, and then you see what happens at the trade deadline, and that's the wait and see right there.
Alex,
I'm gonna say that yes, a healthy DJ and a healthy Cole will help project us to winning the AL East.
We'll just have to wait and find out.
Hey man, I'm not gonna be all Mr. Negative Nancy like you are.
I'm not being negative. I'm just sitting back and letting things just take its course. That's all I'm doing.
You're not doing a very good job at it. You sound very much like, yeah, this is very negative. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm just letting things play out, dude. Like I said, I'm not getting. You won't see me getting excited until we're still playing like this at the end of August, going into September. If we can make it through the summer, it's just stepping on throats we need to step on, and we're still playing like this in late August, early September, then I'll get excited.
That is true, sir. That is true.
That's it. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Don't forget, we will be doing this 2 times a week now, Tuesdays and Fridays at noon on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. wherever you see us live, and the audio will be out an hour following that. So be on the lookout for both items twice a week. So for Mark, Danny, Alex, David, Muchachos, signing off.